basically does an authentication that validates who you are. Once that has validated who you are, it generates a token using a secret key behind the scenes. And by the way, none of this happens like on the front end interface. So essentially, all of this happens behind the scenes. So all you know is that you have entered your username and password. But what really happens on the web browser, it has generated a token, and this is the case of JWT. It has generated a token behind the scenes on the resource server, right? So note that I said two things at the start of this. There is a claim, and then there is a resource server to authenticate that claim. Now, you validate the credentials on the resource server. On the resource server also generates a token, uses a secret key, sends it as a JSON web token back to the web browser. The web browser now sends the JWT or the JSON web token in the header, right, in a secure endpoint back to the resource server. Now, the resource server now validates the JWT with that secret key and sends a response for the request back to the browser. All of this happens within nanoseconds, but this is really what happens behind the scenes when JWT really is coming into play. And I'll give examples, but before that, I want to explain the different types of tokens because I've spoken a lot about tokens here, and I really need to sort of drive this point of what these tokens mean. Number one is that you have something called access token. And an access token is a security token that is issued by an authorization server. This is part of the OAuth 2.0 flow. It contains information about the user and the resource for which the token is intended to use. The second one is a refresh token. Now, this is because the access tokens are valid for only a short period of time. The authorization server sometimes issue a refresh token at the same time the access token is issued, because once that access token expires, you can simply just impute the refresh token